Social update UG. Former Japanese Prime Minister Abe pronounced dead after shooting. Aliko Prime Minister wa Japan alangiriddwa nti mufu oluvannyuma lw'okubeera ng'akubiddwa amasasi mu public obadde ng'alina waayogererako mawulire ga nnaku nnyo. What you need to know is that Abe, who was 67 years old, had been delivering a stump speech with security present, but spectators were able to approach him fairly easily. Omusajja ono emyaka 67 abadde ali mu kuwa speech ey'olujjudde oba ya public, naye abasajja abatemu bamu approaches bamukuba amasasi era afiiridde mu ddwaliro. Japanese former Prime Minister Shinzo Abe died in hospital on Friday. The facility treating him confirmed. Hours after being shot at a political campaign event in an attack condemned as absolutely unforgivable. Shinzo Abe was transported to the hospital at 12:20 p.m. He was in a state of cardiac arrest upon arrival. Resuscitation was administered. However, unfortunately, he died at 5:03 p.m., said Hidetade Fukushima, a professor of emergency medicine at Nara Medical University Hospital. The assassination of the country's best-known politician comes despite Japanese strict gun laws and with campaigning underway ahead of upper house elections on Sunday. Neze no zan Japan tena na government oba gun laws lyawo. Omuntu ali Japan osobola kuba ng'ombulira kyolowooza neze kyendowooza nti Japan tebakkiriza mundu. Era omusajja yamukubye yabadde was like a serial killer. Era yazze nga yambadde nga serial killer. Okitegeera. Unlike USA eweyo omuntu owa bulijjo owulira nti omwana yakubye baana banne amasasi oba nti omwana yakubye bazadde be amasasi ng'azanyisa emmundu, something like that. Kyolina okusobola okuba nga otegeera nti omusajja ono Shinzo Abe yabadde Japan's longest serving prime minister. Kitegeera. Earlier on, Prime Minister Fumio Kishida abandoned the campaign trail and flew to Tokyo by helicopter, where he addressed reporters in a voice that wavered with emotion. I pray that former Prime Minister Abe will survive, he said, condemning a barbaric act during the election campaigning, which is the foundation of democracy. It is absolutely unforgivable. I condemn this act in the strongest terms. The attack came before noon in the country's western region of Nara, where Abe had been delivering a stump speech with security present, but spectators were able to approach him easily. Footage broadcast by NHK showed him standing on a stage when a man dressed in a grey shirt and brown trousers began approaching from behind before drawing something from a bag and firing. At least 2 shots appeared to be fired, each producing a cloud of smoke. As spectators and reporters ducked, a man was shown being tackled to the ground by security. He was later arrested on suspicion of attempted murder, reports said. Local media identified the man as a 41-year-old Tetsuya Yamagami, citing police sources with several media outlets describing him as a former member of the Maritime Self-Defense Force, the country's Navy. It's not about like gun control in that matter like USA. He was a former person of the Navy SEALs, Japanese Navy SEALs. He was wielding a weapon described by local media as a handmade gun. And NHK said he told police after his arrest that he targeted Abe with the intention of killing him. Together, Chokangate witnesses at the scene described shock as the political event turned into chaos. The first shot sounded like a toy bazooka, a woman told NHK. NHK knows that chitongole kya mawulire in Japan. It didn't fall and there was a large bang. The second shot was more visible. You could see the spark and smoke, she added. After the second shot, people surrounded him and gave him cardiac massage. Abe was bleeding from the neck, witnesses said, and photographs showed. He was reportedly initially responsive but subsequently lost consciousness. Officials from the local chapter of Abe's Liberal Democratic Party said there had been no threats for the incident and that his speech had been announced publicly. Musajja afudde yabadde longest serving prime minister era nga office egikwata 26 for 1 year and again from 2012 2020 when he was forced to step down due to the debilitating bowel conduction or curative qualities. Anyway, omusajja ono yabadde longest serving prime minister wa Japan era nga bagambye nti nno office yagingiramu mu 26 then ekisanyi kyanaavuga from 2012 to 2020 era nga he was forced to step down olw'ensonga ezitaali zimu. Agono ge mawulire mabi in Japan. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell button. Peace.